video on how to make a cheap, homemade, customized brush holder. Now this is not a brush roll video. I do have one. I will put a link in the description to it. That's a no-sew homemade brush roll. This is an actual holder, like so, that you can customize to hold your brushes in. So I'm going to go step by step and show you how to make it, and with the exception of the ribbon, everything is stuff you already have at home. So practically free. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Okay, so first you're going to need an empty container. I made my first holder out of an oatmeal box, and we're just going to use an old cereal box for this container. You can go round and use maybe like an old Folgers can, coffee can, or even maybe a soup can if that's what you choose to do. I happen to like the square box idea better because it gives you a better view of all your brushes. Next, you just need a pair of scissors. You should have this lying around the house somewhere. You're also going to need some tape. Clear tape is the best, and the glue is optional. You'll see why you don't really need it, but I choose to use it. Also, another optional thing that I chose to use was ribbon. And last but not least, you're going to need the actual material that you're going to cover your box in. Now you can use fabric if you choose to. I personally just created a graphic and printed it out on regular paper. It's important to make sure that before you print it, that it's going to be the right size for your brushes to fit in when you're actually applying it to the box. Also, I'm going to try to put a link in the description box for both of these pictures that I've used in case you want to use them yourself. Okay, so first you're going to measure your box. If you've already measured your graphic, then you already know that's the right size you need, so it's easier to just mark it from there. If not, just put your brush to the box and mark it like that. Next, we're going to cut the box. I find it easier to flatten the box first before you cut it. You're going to want to keep the piece at the top that you have left over because you will be using it. Next, cut out a piece that measures the inside of the box. You're doing this to make the bottom a little bit more sturdy, and then just fold the pieces over to make it thicker. After you fold it up a couple of times and made it thick enough and made sure it's going to fit in the bottom, use your tape and tape it closed. Now we're going to do something about those wobbly walls. Take the last piece that you have left and fold it in the same manner that you folded the bottom. You're just going to do this to try to help to support the walls a little bit better. I actually find that this part is easier if you have a thicker piece of cardboard hanging around somewhere, and I happen to have a piece from an old fan box lying around, so I'm using that. In general, it's easier with a thicker box, but we're just trying to use stuff that's laying around the house. You want to cut it so that when you fold it into an L shape, it's a little bit shorter than the box. I then tape the L shape to the bottom piece that we made to reinforce the bottom. I took the glue and put a little coating of glue on each of the sides, so when I placed it in, the glue will stick to the side of the walls. Now, through trial and error, I realized that this is a little messy and it doesn't exactly do the job that I want it to do, at least not right away. So, okay, once that's dry, you have another optional thing you can do, and I just paint the inside of the box. You can actually use spray paint if you wanted to. It'd actually be a lot quicker, or you don't have to spray it at all. It wouldn't make a difference. I think it makes it look a little cleaner, but if you're going to fill it up with beads or whatever, you won't see it anyway, so this part is completely optional. Now, I have two of these pictures printed out because it's going to take two to wrap all the way around the box. what we do is we line it up about halfway on the side and put a little piece of tape in the middle. Then you want to pull it as tight as you can around to the other side and tape it again on the other side. You then want to bend the bottom over and tape it, but leave the little pieces sticking out on the side. Now for the top. Bend it over, and you're going to have the piece in the middle, so you're going to have to cut a slit with some scissors so it'll lay on either side. But you just bend it over and tape it down. You're now just going to repeat the process on the opposite side of the box. You're now just going to fold the bottom flaps over like you would fold a Christmas present and tape them down. Now I decided to use a little ribbon and make a little bit of a trim just to kind of dress it up a little bit. I just cut 2 pieces of ribbon. Each of them are 1/2 of the box, and wrapped them around and taped them down. Make sure to pull it snug when you pull it around and tape it so that it doesn't sag in the middle. I then cut 2 more pieces to run along the side to cover up the seams. It's very simple. Just tape the end, fold it over the edge, bring it down, and tape it to the bottom. And then you repeat the process on the opposite side. And here's the finished product. Now, I do recommend you laminating any pictures that you may put on here if it's something you want to keep for a long time. I personally didn't do it because I like to change things up quite often, and knowing me, I'll probably be printing out a different picture to put on the box within a year. It should be fine for a while, but you know, paper will start to fade. So you might want to go with fabric if you want something that'll last longer, or like I said before, make sure you laminate your pictures. And also, whenever I made the graphic, you could have just as easily used some of your actual pictures of yourself if you wanted to make it a little bit more personalized.